So thinking about maybe studying or working at the University of Alberta,
Excellent choice.
we've got a ton of info straight from their website and job postings.
Oh, wow.
Ready for a deep dive, ready to really get into it
Love it.
to see if UAlberta is the right fit for you.
You know, it's interesting. One of the things about UAlberta is that they consistently rank as one of the top research universities globally.
Yeah.
But it's not all about the rankings,
Right.
right? It's about the impact.
Yeah. Let's unpack that. What does that actually look like?
Yeah.
One of the things I was really fascinated to learn about is that they're a world leader in artificial intelligence research.
Okay.
Specifically, they're doing a lot of work in applying AI to disaster response.
Wow.
So, think about robots that can navigate through rubble to find survivors.
Yeah.
That's the kind of groundbreaking work that's happening at UAlberta.
And that's just one example, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the breadth of UAlberta's faculties and departments is really impressive, right? You go from arts and sciences to engineering and health.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that breadth that really contributes to this research excellence that they have.
Yeah.
And it attracts a really diverse range of academics, and it also allows for a lot more collaboration across disciplines.
Now, if you're actually thinking about applying to UAlberta, whether as a student or as faculty,
Yeah.
they do have a pretty straightforward process outlined on their website.
Okay.
But here's what's really interesting. They're putting a lot of emphasis on diversity and inclusion. They're actively encouraging applications from individuals of all backgrounds and experiences.
That's great in theory, but how does that translate to practice? Are there specific programs or initiatives to make sure it's a truly inclusive environment?
Yeah, that's a great question, and we can dig into that a little bit more later on.
Okay.
But one thing that really jumped out at me was their list of notable alumni.
Oh, yeah.
I was so surprised to learn that David Suzuki, the renowned environmental activist and scientist, is UAlberta grad.
And you know who else is? Michael Houghton, the Nobel Prize winner for his work on hepatitis C.
It just makes you wonder what kind of environment cultivates such diverse talent.
It really does. It seems like they have this knack for nurturing individuals with these diverse passions and giving them the environment that they need to thrive and make a real impact.
And speaking of impact, UAlberta actually outlines 5 key reasons why someone might choose to study or work there.
Okay, let's hear.
All right, so number 1,
Yeah.
research,
All right.
which we've already touched on.
Makes sense.
They talk about, the opportunities for groundbreaking discoveries and their global ranking.
Yeah, and they seem to be very invested in creating that ecosystem where research can really flourish.
Yeah.
Like, for example, UAlberta provides funding for faculty to go to conferences, to workshops. They're committed to keeping their faculty at the cutting edge.
Now, building on that idea of groundbreaking research, let's talk about something that they really emphasize, diversity. They talk about, how diverse perspectives enrich learning and innovation.
That raises a good question, though.
Yeah.
What specific programs and initiatives do they have in place?
Right.
We see the commitment on paper, but how does it actually play out?
Yeah, that's a great point. We'll have to look into that.
For sure.
Reason number 3 why someone might choose UAlberta, support.
All right.
And here they're talking about the extensive resources they offer to faculty,
Okay.
including research grants, mentorship programs, and professional development opportunities.
So it seems like they're really trying to create a holistic support system, recognizing that faculty success isn't just about, research output,
Right.
but also about personal and professional growth.
Okay, reason number 4, impact. And this is where UAlberta really stresses that the work that happens there goes beyond the walls of the university.
Right.
It's making a difference in the world.
That emphasis on tackling real-world problems with their research, coupled with their commitment to nurturing this diverse talent, really suggests that they're geared towards producing graduates who are not just academically accomplished, but also equipped to actually make meaningful contributions to society.
And finally, reason number 5, community.
Okay.
UAlberta really highlights their vibrant and supportive campus environment, talking about everything from clubs and organizations to sports and recreation facilities.
That aspect is often overlooked, but it's so crucial, right?
Yeah.
A strong sense of community creates a sense of belonging, and that can really enhance the overall learning and working experience.
Absolutely.
It's not just about academics, it's about creating a well-rounded and enriching environment.
Now, I want to dive into some questions from their Q&A section.
Sure.
One that caught my eye was about the application process.
Okay, so the application process is primarily online.
Okay.
Applicants submit their materials, things like CVs and transcripts, through the university portal. The specific requirements will vary depending on the faculty and the position.
Right.
So it's always best to just check the individual listings.
Another common question is about research support.
Okay.
What kinds of things does UAlberta offer in that area?
Well, they mention a whole range of support mechanisms, things like research grants, access to state-of-the-art facilities, and opportunities to collaborate with, both people within the university and with external partners.
Okay. And what about professional development for faculty? Is that something that UAlberta prioritizes?
Absolutely. They highlight various programs and resources aimed at helping faculty members enhance their teaching and research skills. So that could be things like workshops, mentorship programs, or even funding to attend conferences and training programs.
Last question from this section. How does UAlberta actually define its commitment to diversity and inclusion?
Well, they reiterate this belief that a diverse and inclusive community enriches the academic experience, and drives innovation.
Yeah.
This suggests that they view diversity and inclusion not just as like a moral imperative, but also as a key driver of academic excellence. They want to create an environment where everyone feels welcome, respected, and valued.
Okay, that's a great overview of UAlberta's approach to supporting its faculty. But what about the student experience? What can prospective students expect? We'll be diving into that in part 2 of this deep dive.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's kind of shift gears a little bit here and put ourselves in the shoes of a prospective student.
Yeah.
What do you think, what are some of the biggest selling points of UAlberta, specifically for students?
Well, that real emphasis on research, it has to create a very unique learning environment.
Right.
Imagine you're surrounded by, these world-renowned researchers. You might even have a chance to get involved in these groundbreaking projects yourself. Not a lot of universities can offer that.
That's true. And remember, all of those impressive alumni we talked about?
Oh, yeah.
They all started as students at UAlberta.
Right.
It sets a pretty high bar for current students, don't you think?
It does, but it also, I think it speaks to the fact that UAlberta has a really strong track record of nurturing talent and providing that environment, where students can reach their full potential.
And we can't forget about their commitment to diversity and inclusion.
Right.
That has to create a richer learning environment for everyone.
Absolutely. Interacting with people from diverse backgrounds, it broadens your horizons, it challenges your assumptions, it prepares you for a globalized world. It's essential for a well-rounded education these days.
So we've got world-class research, we've got these inspiring alumni, a diverse community.
Yeah.
What else might attract students to UAlberta?
Well, location could be a factor.
Yeah.
Edmonton, it's not Toronto or Vancouver, It's not quite as flashy, but it has its own charm. It's a vibrant city. It's got a really thriving arts and culture scene.
Yeah.
And it's surrounded by these beautiful natural landscapes.
Yeah. And Edmonton is probably also not as expensive as some of those other big Canadian cities.
Right.
Which is, big consideration for students these days.
Huge.
And UAlberta itself also offers a wide range of support services for students.
Yeah.
Everything from academic advising to career counseling to health and wellness resources. They really seem invested in helping students succeed, not just academically, but personally as well.
Yeah.
We talked earlier about UAlberta's commitment to making a real-world impact. How do you think that translates into the student experience?
Well, it suggests to me that they're encouraging their students to think beyond the classroom.
Right.
To apply their knowledge to real-world challenges. This could take a lot of different forms, internships, community engagement projects, research opportunities that are addressing these pressing, societal issues.
So it's not just about acquiring knowledge, it's about using that knowledge to make a difference.
Exactly.
I like that.
It's about fostering a sense of purpose and giving students that opportunity to develop those skills and experiences that are really valuable in today's world.
It's interesting to think about, the ripple effect,
Yeah.
UAlberta invests in its faculty. The faculty then, inspires and mentors its students.
Right.
And then those students go on to make their own contributions to the world.
Yeah.
It's a really cool cycle.
Yeah, I like that analogy. It really highlights the interconnectedness of that whole academic ecosystem.
Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about academics.
Right.
What about student life outside of the classroom? Like, what's the vibe like at UAlberta?
Well, based on their website, and just things that I've heard, it seems like there's a pretty vibrant and active student life.
Yeah, they mention all sorts of, clubs and organizations, like covering every interest you can imagine.
Yeah.
So whether you're into like sports or music or drama or politics or whatever.
Yeah, you're going to find your people.
You're going to find your people.
Yeah.
And they have some pretty impressive athletic facilities too.
Oh, yeah.
They have a huge fitness center, a state-of-the-art aquatic center.
Wow.
So lots of opportunities to stay active and de-stress.
Right. Important for students.
And speaking of de-stressing, what about the social scene in Edmonton?
Yeah.
Is it a fun city to be a student in?
Yeah. I mean, Edmonton has a reputation for being a really friendly and welcoming city.
Okay.
And it has a pretty decent nightlife scene, especially considering its size.
Yeah, and UAlberta itself hosts all kinds of events throughout the year. Like concerts and festivals, guest lectures, film screenings. So it seems like there's always something going on.
It sounds like there's a really good balance between that academic rigor and a lively social scene.
Yeah, now let's say we're giving advice to a student who's considering UAlberta.
Okay.
What would be our top 3 tips?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
I would say, first and foremost, don't be afraid to get involved.
Okay.
Take advantage of all the opportunities that UAlberta offers, whether that's, joining a club or volunteering in the community, applying for a research assistantship.
Yeah, that's a great tip. What's number 2?
I would say take advantage of the support services.
Okay.
Don't hesitate to reach out if you're struggling, academically, or if you're feeling overwhelmed or you just need someone to talk to. They've got a whole team of people there dedicated to supporting student success.
And tip number 3.
Okay, this one's a bit more philosophical, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think it's important, I would say, embrace the diversity. UAlberta it's a melting pot of cultures and perspectives.
Yeah.
Be open to learning from people who are different from you. It'll enrich your experience and broaden your horizons.
Those are some great tips.
Yeah.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
But there's always more to explore
Right.
in the final part of our UAlberta deep dive.
Okay.
We're going to zoom in on some of the specific programs and research initiatives
cool.
that make this university so unique. Okay, so we're back for the final part of our UAlberta deep dive. And we've talked about, the big picture stuff, the research, the diversity, the impact, all that.
Right.
But now let's zoom in on some specifics,
Yeah, let's get into the nitty-gritty.
What are some of the programs and research initiatives that really make UAlberta stand out?
Well, I mean, with their impressive global research ranking, we could honestly spend hours discussing their different projects.
Oh, easily, yeah.
But to give you a taste, let's highlight a few that really caught my eye.
Okay, perfect. I'm all ears.
Okay, so first up, the Li Ka-shing Institute of Virology.
Okay.
This institute is at the forefront of infectious disease research.
Wow.
And they're tackling some of the world's most pressing health challenges, including hepatitis C.
Oh, wow. That connects right back to, alumnus Michael Houghton and his Nobel Prize-winning work.
Exactly.
It's amazing to see how UAlberta's legacy in virology just continues to grow.
It really speaks to their dedication to the field.
Yeah.
Okay, let's jump over to the Faculty of Engineering.
Okay.
Specifically, their work on artificial intelligence and machine learning.
Oh, that's a field I was hoping we'd get to, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating stuff.
They're doing cutting-edge research in, robotics, computer vision, natural language processing, all of that, right?
Exactly. And one project that I thought was super cool was their work on developing AI-powered systems for disaster response. So imagine robots that can navigate through rubble to find survivors, or drones that can deliver medical supplies to remote areas.
Wow.
That's the kind of real-world impact we were talking about earlier.
It's like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it's happening right now.
I know, right?
At UAlberta.
It's incredible.
Okay, what's one more example of UAlberta's research that's really kind of pushing boundaries?
Okay, how about this? The Canadian Institute for Advanced Research.
Okay.
Or CFAR. It's headquartered right on the UAlberta campus.
Oh, wow.
CFAR is it's like a global think tank.
Okay.
It brings together these top researchers from around the world to tackle the biggest questions facing humanity.
So it's not just a hub for internal research, it's attracting these brilliant minds from across the globe.
Exactly. And it really solidifies their reputation as a world-leading research institution.
So we've got virology, we've got artificial intelligence, this global research network.
Right.
What does this tell us about, like, UAlberta's research priorities?
I think it's clear that they're tackling some of the most complex challenges facing humanity.
Yeah.
You know, from health to technology to even understanding the universe.
Big stuff.
It is big stuff, and it's also worth noting that these research areas are highly interdisciplinary, which really shows their commitment to fostering collaboration across different fields.
That makes sense considering, you know, how diverse their faculties are.
Right.
It's not just about these silos of knowledge. It's about connecting the dots and finding, you know, really innovative solutions.
Exactly. And let's not forget about, you know, the potential impact on students.
Oh, right.
Imagine being a student at UAlberta and having the opportunity to get involved in these groundbreaking research projects.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about an inspiring learning environment.
Really does, yeah.
Amazing.
So for anyone listening who's, you know, maybe considering UAlberta, whether as a potential student or a faculty member, what would you say is, like, the key takeaway from all of this?
I think the key takeaway is that UAlberta is more than just a university. It's a catalyst for progress. It's where these bright minds come together to push the boundaries of knowledge and create a better future.
That's a great way to put it. UAlberta clearly has a lot to offer. From cutting-edge research to this supportive and diverse community, it sounds like a place where anyone with a passion for learning and discovery can really thrive. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the University of Alberta.